I just bought a house at 22 years old, and this video is a very real sit-down video of me just speaking about how I got to this point. How was I able to get the money to buy a 2,000 square foot house on half an acre to flip it, right? So please watch to the end of this video. I hope you can gain some value, maybe some inspiration from it. But anyways, please enjoy the video. Welcome back to Built to Flip. So my name is Colton Varville, and I'm super excited to be sharing this journey with you guys. I recently just purchased my first property that I actually get to share with y'all. This is my second property that I have owned. I'm 22 years old, and this is, again, the second property I've owned and first house I purchased. So I really want to give you a background of where I started. I bought a condo when I was 19. I started my first business when I was 17. My first taxable business when I was 17. But I've had many opportunities to create other businesses, and I've tried multiple different things, and now I'm here. I just purchased my first house at 22 years old, and it is going to be a fix and flip. Can't wait to share everything I do on the house from start to finish with you guys. Be completely real, completely transparent. There's nothing more than I want than just to document my life and look back on it later. So my name is Colton Varville. I work a salary job. Everything I do is completely on the side. I put myself through school, was able to, again, kind of have the money to buy a condo when I was 19 from my other businesses in high school, where that money, the condo, the passive income actually paid for my college education, right? So I guess we'll start from the beginning. Like, who am I? How did I become this way? Was I born this way? Or was it just a drive that somehow I picked up along the way? So the answer to those questions is I don't know. I've always had this idea, I guess, of being financially successful. For me, financially successful is not the way to life. It just gives me the freedom to live the life that I want for the future, right? So I'm still young, I'm still 22 years old, but I have this idea of what I want my life to look like and what I want my future to look like. And that might sound strange, but maybe you're in the same boat. Maybe you're thinking about next decisions, or, getting a girlfriend or having a girlfriend and the next chapter of that, right? So I feel like some people can resonate with me. I really don't know. This is kind of just why I'm talking to the camera and, again, documenting myself through this process. But we'll go ahead and explain kind of my entrepreneurship from the very beginning. I sold finger puppets and just weird little eraser, bow and arrows. I would take, two brand new pencils in elementary school, take the eraser part off one, and they're flat, right? So it's a eraser and then a flat tip. You haven't sharpened it yet. And I put the other eraser on one side, get a rubber band, I cut it down the middle, and you create like a little bow and arrow. Then if you get another pencil and you cut the eraser down the middle with a little, scissors, you can create a little arrow. So I had these little bow and arrows, and I'd sell them at school. I create finger puppets just out of paper and staples and tape, and just color them. And, people would bring $5 for them. Then once I started getting a little bit of money, I told my parents, hey, I watched a YouTube video, or I saw a duct tape wallet book or something, and I was like, I want to do this. So my parents actually took me to Walmart or Target. I don't know what store it was, but we were able to then go, and I purchased my own duct tape. I made my own wallets, and then I was selling those for $10 to $15 along with the finger puppets and bow and arrows that I would create at school. So I had this just urge to create products and, receive money for what I give people. So that takes me to high school, freshman year. I saw that concession stand pricing for football games, and it's, Texas football games, it's huge, and the prices were crazy. And I realized I could bring a backpack full of concession foods in, and I could sell it for, $1 less each item and make 200-300% return on what I brought to the game. So I did that. Some people caught on. So then I wasn't able to bring a backpack in again. They started searching, all the backpacks at school. But I would go earlier before anyone got there to the field and hide my backpack, and then come in later and get my backpack for the rest of the games, and then hit them in the stands where, you know, people would come up to me or I'd go up to them selling them. I'd go disappear for a while, get the snack or get the drink or whatever it was, come back and make the sell. I always had a little bit of like business in me. Then it goes to, I guess I was like 15, 16 years old. Then at 17, I got my first taxable business. So I got my DBA and I got a tax identification number where I was able to go purchase ladders, equipment, and everything was tax deductible. I didn't have to pay taxes on the sell. You go to Home Depot, you type in your EIN, and you're able to actually, you know, get discounts theoretically on these purchases. So I started a window washing and power washing business, and I was watching YouTube videos. I thought I knew the best strategy, and I found out that you could really market on Facebook Marketplace. I would join groups and I would, you know, advertise my service, and sometimes I'd throw in I'm a high school kid, and that would get some people interested more than just, you know, going with your typical window washer. Oh, I want to help a kid out, right? So I was able to grow that. Two of my buddies did it with me. I was able to grow quite well in high school. So I did that for about a year and a half. I had quite a few jobs. And that led me to college. Now I knew I didn't have any college funds. I wasn't going to go to school. I had enough money to put myself through college at the time, which, you know, is amazing for a high schooler. Well, then I decided I'll go to college. I'll take out a loan on everything, you know, government loans on everything my first year. Housing, tuition, books, everything you could pay, I took out through government money. That's because I wanted to find a real estate building and have the passive income pay for my school. So sure enough, every day I was checking Zillow, I was checking Redfin. I got a few realtors' numbers in my area that I went to school in, and I found this pocket, and I found it myself, not the realtors, of these like a pocket of condos that were really big for a college town, and they were super underpriced compared to the area around it. So I knew that that's where I wanted to buy, and I put in about 11 offers on different condos in that complex, and I was rejected every time. Not that I was rejected, just I didn't win the bid, right? Another one came around right in front of the pool, right in front of the entryway. It was the perfect location. It was the best building in the complex, ground floor. Literally, you hop over your porch and you're at the pool. It was an amazing location, and it was $20,000 less than what everyone else was asking for. I knew I had to get it. It wasn't on the market. My realtor actually had a connection and knew I was looking in the area, and it never hit the market. So I put in an offer, exactly what they're asking, and I was able to lock it down. So I was 19 years old. I just purchased my first condo, my first real estate, and was able to then renovate it. I fixed it up, immediately had equity. If I sold it within a month or two, I would have made $20,000, $30,000. Decided to hold on to it and Airbnb it out. Go to a really big Texas school. I go to Texas A&M, or I went to Texas A&M. And Airbnb for football games, parents' weekends, ring weekends, everything you could imagine. They're very good about keeping parents and high money coming into the area. And I had a big enough condo that I was able to rent it out for a very high price every night. So it was pretty killer. It was enough for me to pay for the rest of my school and some. Now, it brings me to closer to present day. I graduated college. I have a full-time job. I'm full-time salary, and I'm still doing real estate on the side. I have a couple other businesses on the side that I'm working on. I've created several through college that hasn't really worked out, but still have them in the back of my mind just in case one day I, innovate the idea and, maybe I can make it work, right? I'm always thinking, I'm always working. So I decided that it would be good to sell the condo. And this is because real estate right now, it's 2025, interest rates are high, and real estate property prices, they're very, very high right now. So it's very difficult to buy and rent out properties for long term. I've looked at commercial properties. I put down offers on commercial, 8-plex, 12-plex, a bunch of, just commercial real estate buildings. So basically, I decided to sell the property. And because I sold the property, it allowed me to gain all the equity that I put into it and grab the money back out that I had into it. And I was able to then, again, join Facebook, something that I knew from high school, and I found some wholesalers. So I found a bunch of different companies, and they hooked me up with quite a few houses. And I filtered through the ones I liked, the ones that I thought would be good. I ran comps of my own. I got real estate comps. I did all my due diligence, and I probably put in, I think, 4 or 5 offers. And the 5th offer, I finally locked down my first house. So it sits on about half an acre. It's a 2,000 square foot house. Almost everything needs to be replaced. It's gonna be an amazing journey, an amazing project to work on. And I really, really wanna share it with you guys. And I'm absolutely pumped that I get to just film this journey and film the documentary for myself to look back on when I'm 50, 60 years old and be like, wow, that was Colton at 22. So if you want, you can subscribe for my journey. I appreciate you guys watching the video. If you made it to the end of the video, please comment, I made it to the end of the video. That would mean so much to me. Please subscribe, like the video for the algorithm. Let's grow this channel, and I love any feedback I can get. So just let me know what you guys think, and I will see y'all in the next video.